Oh, look, it's Wade interrupting my vlog. With pizza! No way!
Hi!
Oh, yeah!
How's it going?
Well, we're not in New Hampshire anymore.
So I'm taking a science class at Castleton University, which is where I go to school. And this class was called Tropical Biodiversity. And basically, in this class, we study the rainforest, the plants, the animals, and why there's such a great variation of species in that region. And part of the trip, we actually go down to Costa Rica and study about the rainforest. Two of the people that you're going to see in this vlog the most are going to be Ethan and John. John I actually know from the Nordic ski team. I'm on the Alpine ski team here at Castleton, so we're kind of friends that way. Ethan, I had never met Ethan before this class, but we turned out to be really good friends. On the second day that we were there, the whole class actually went down to the river. It's the local river called the Sarapiqui River, and I asked Ethan and John about their first impressions of the trip, and well, here we go.
Costa Rica is really hot and sweaty. However, this water feels fantastic.
The first 2 days were awesome. I'm liking the country more and more. Ethan seems to be enjoying it quite a bit as well.
Well, to be honest, I'm not really sure how I got here. I thought I was signing up for Biology 1, and then they told me I'm coming to Costa Rica. But I've already seen the iguana.
The rare rainforest iguana.
I've already seen a monkey. I've already seen a sloth. That was pretty cool.
We were down there for about 9 days, and we went on a bunch of guided tours of the rainforest and other local attractions and points of interest related to biodiversity. And we also had a lot of free time to explore the rainforest by ourselves, which was definitely a little bit intimidating the first time it happened, but by the end of it, we were professionals, more or less, and it was a really great experience being able to just kind of walk around in a totally different landscape than what we're used to up in Vermont.
This is the second longest hanging bridge in Costa Rica. We cross into the Old Forest. It's about 350 acres of nature preserve. Let's go check it out.
We've been trying to find the howler monkey. I don't think they would. We've only seen one, and it was by the lodge. And we've been trying to attract it by doing its traditional mating call. And off in the distance, sometimes you can hear it respond.
This is a pretty interesting specimen right here. If you look, this is not your standard tree. This tree has what's known as buttresses, which is this big thing right here. And as you can see, it comes off of the tree and it kind of acts like an anchor.
A little bit later in the week, we had a tour of a chocolate making facility, and this was really cool. One of the local kids, he was 20, as old as me, gave us a tour of the area, and he explained to us the traditional as well as the modern methods for producing chocolate, which is actually pretty in-depth. It was a lot more than I had realized.
So my friends, to get in the forest, we need to take this special trail.
But the steps are fairly simple. You basically have to take the chocolate fruit. So you take that, break that open, and you take the seeds out, and then you're going to let them ferment, actually. After you ferment the seeds, you dry them out, and then you roast them, and then you can actually crack them open and take out the little chocolate nibs on the inside, and using those you can create chocolate, hot chocolate, any chocolate-based product basically comes from those little nibs inside of the chocolate seed. Another activity that we took part in was we visited a wildlife rescue center. It was called Proyecto Asís, which roughly translates to the Assistance Project, I believe, if my Spanish isn't incorrect. What Proyecto Asís was was a rehabilitation facility for rainforest animals. And they basically take animals that, for one reason or another, are having difficulty living by themselves, so they can take them in, rehabilitate them, and the ones that they're able to release back into the rainforest, they will release. And some of them they actually do have to keep there full time just because of their various ailments. We were there for about half a day, and we actually took part in feeding the animals, and we did actually get to feed the monkeys as well. I didn't get to take any footage of that because that's technically illegal in Costa Rica, so make of that what you will. For the monkeys, we actually went into their cages and hid the food in various locations, and this kind of made it more fun for them when they're scavenging for their food, just kind of like, they would in the wild, giving them a little extra added challenge. We also visited a very popular destination for birders. It was called Dave and Dave's bird facility.
This is the almond tree. The almond tree is the food source and the nesting site for an endangered great green macaw, the largest parrots in Costa Rica. So that's what we try to do here. Plant a tree that's going to make a difference.
The green macaw is dependent on this tree for food and for shelter as well. Unfortunately, this tree is extremely popular. It's an extremely popular wood for use in furniture. So this means that in the 70s, this tree was getting cut down very often to the point where there was almost none left in the wild. But thanks to a bunch of conservation efforts, the tree has slowly been reintroduced into the rainforest, and this has in turn brought up the population of the green macaw as well. So in all, it was definitely a worthwhile trip. It was very eye-opening. Like I've said before, I've traveled to this region in the past, but never on a science-based trip like this before. It was really cool to actually see all of the plants and animals that I've been reading about in my textbooks and talking about in class. I had lots of fun, made some great friends. It was a great experience. Highly recommend anybody in college, if they can, if you have the opportunity, try to take a class that goes to a foreign country. I promise you won't regret it.
Cynthia's gave us an hour just kind of walk around the city. We're going to go around, see if we can find some souvenirs, and just see what culture is all about.
It's some sort of candy, I think. Not what I expected, but it's really good. It's maple, right? Walnut?
As in like maple walnut.
Maple walnut, yeah. It's good.
Stung by like some spider. Hey, look, there's people.
Oh. Buenas noches.
Good night.